Alright everyone, welcome. I'm very excited to be doing this first review video today for a very highly anticipated sneaker. This is the Maison Margiela Fusion. And as you can see, there's a lot going on with this shoe. We're going to cover it all today. Now typically with shoe videos, there's a few key aspects they review. They want to look at the unboxing experience, and this one's quite an experience. They want to look at the fit, the materials, specifically the midsole, the outsole, overall performance, and so we're really going to break down this iconic sneaker for you today. So here's the box. We've got an all-white box. Take off the lid, and one thing you notice right away is you've got these two sort of booties, because again, with a shoe that looks so clean as this one does, you really want to make sure you keep them looking new and fresh. And then once you get through the layers here, it kind of feels like the worst Christmas anyone's ever had. Now the shoe itself has a lot going on. This is like a turducken of bad shoes. It's like a bad shoe wrapped in a bad shoe, wrapped in another bad shoe, and then just thrown in an oven. You see we've got copious amounts of glue. We have what appears to be the remnants of an Asics sneaker. You'll notice the lacing system adopts what I like to call the drunken spider. Seriously, I think if you had 7 Boy Scouts and a whole crew of Navy midshipmen, there's nobody that could decipher these knots. So I'd strongly recommend never untying them and just try to find a way to kind of wedge your foot down in there, because there's really no hope of ever trying to retie it in this pattern. We've got a nice burning mark here, as if maybe someone dragged their foot while on the back of a razor scooter or a motorcycle. And then again, in the areas where they wanted to do a little bit less leather, they just did so much glue. So once you solve the riddle of just dealing with the laces, there is the point of actually trying the shoe on. And I wouldn't say it goes on easy, but this is it. I'm not gonna bother lacing it. I know it might look a little sloppy, but that's it. It's very popular these days to get an on-foot look, and so just want someone to get a feel for what these look like, you know, for a day at the office, you know, if your office is a landfill. All right, so let's get into the materials here. For the cushioning, we have cadaver's teeth. In the midsole, these are made from Zatarain's Dirty Rice empty boxes. For the inside, they're cushioned lightly with vulture feathers. Cassette tape is really used to design and kind of tie the whole thing together. And then they're finished off with just a big bag of mulch that was pulled over the top of these. It's clear to me that the cushioning system itself is really just so much glue, and maybe a pair of the Walmart shoes. They've sort of taken off the sole and glued those back on and fused them together. It's really, really not good. It looks like Saucony did a collaboration with Guy Fieri, or maybe the ooze from Ninja Turtles fell onto a pair of your grandfather's New Balances. This shoe looks a little bit like you put a child's backpack into a microwave. This shoe looks like what other shoes would tell younger shoes would have happened if the Germans would have won the war. Kind of looks like a bad dream where the devil tells you you have to design your own shoe, but the whole time in the dream it feels like there's not enough time, and then right before you wake up and the world's about to end, you look down and you see that this is the shoe you made. Looks like what they pull out of those whales that die from ocean pollution. I like what they did here. You can see this is clearly duct tape, but then they stitched it. Because usually when you put duct tape on something, you want that fix to look like it's gonna last. These shoes need their own vaccine. If we sent this shoe into outer space and any intelligent civilization came across this, there's no question it would be perceived as an act of aggression. No question. I wish I could tell you how heavy these things are. These are roughly the weight of like 2 fish bowls. These are probably 3 or 4 pounds each. Just so unnecessary. The wardrobe designer for Freddy Krueger would have sent these back because they were over the top. Probably several religions where these shoes would be like totally sufficient grounds for divorce. These shoes look like how the flu feels. These shoes are so bad that even Samuel L. Jackson won't star in a movie about them. These shoes look like evidence from an arson investigation at a traveling carnival. These shoes look like an NBA player's signature shoe if the clown from It was in the NBA. When you see the dripping glue here, then you really know that somebody made these in a very dim, if not completely dark environment. They're also a good 2 inches off the ground, and so if you're the kind of guy that maybe feels a little insecure about his height, these would be the right look for you if once you reconcile your height issues, you just don't want anyone to talk to you. In short, you know, at a retail price of about $16.45, I'm not sure how many of these they made. You'd like to think it's a limited edition, but then technically garbage is unlimited, so they're not running out of any materials. I think it's a solid buy. It's a one-of-a-kind purchase. You know, there's so many other things you could spend that money on, like a Kia or a down payment on a home. But you could roll around in one of these and look like Will Smith's character from Hitchcock. And so I think it's a no-brainer if you're looking to get a one-of-a-kind piece such as these. So it's a strong buy. Recommend.